Kia ora, Rotary Club of Wellington. Most of you probably know me, even if I'm not wearing my blazer with all my badges. But just came straight from school, from Wellington College. Since I'm gonna leave New Zealand quite soon, in beginning of July, today's gonna be my final opportunity to talk to you, my final speech, and so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my highlights of my exchange and about the experiences that I've made. And so on that picture here, it was taken in Queenstown. It's me with a whole bunch of other exchange students while we were on our South Island tour. It was back in November, and it was 27 students organized by Rotary, a tour around the South Island, starting in Nelson, and then we sort of went down the west coast and did Queenstown, and we did the Rupert track as well, and went to Christchurch and then back up the east coast. We had for 3 weeks altogether, so we had an absolutely wonderful time. And that picture there is we took in Queenstown before we went there on a really fancy dinner on the top of the mountain there with a beautiful view over the city. That was great. And another cool thing we've done in Queenstown, not Queenstown, but Nevis, close to Queenstown, the bungee. And apparently it's the highest bungee of New Zealand, and the second highest bungee you can possibly do worldwide, with 134 meters. So I have to say, I was a little bit scared when I was looking down there, but I did it. So I can say now I've done the second highest bungee of the world. So that's pretty cool. And then that picture, it was on the South Island tour as well, on the Rupert track that a lot of you guys have probably done that or heard of it at least. One of New Zealand's great walks. And that picture there was taken on our second day when it suddenly started to snow. Nothing unusual for me as I'm from Austria, but a couple from a few of our guys in our group were from countries like Brazil or Argentina or somewhere South Americans, and I've never seen snow before, so that was pretty exciting for them. And it was a really cool experience as well, as I really like tramping, and I've actually done quite a lot of tramping while I was here in New Zealand, and especially on the Rupert track here, I've learned a lot about tramping, because we sort of had to find our own gear and have to think about what we're gonna take for food and what we need for the weather conditions. So even if I've done a lot of tramping back in Austria already, I still learned a lot about tramping when we did that. That was really good. That picture there, I quite like that one with the Austrian flag and then New Zealand in the background, taken in front of Lake Pukaki with the New Zealand Alps in the background. And that's the other guy's Max, another Austrian exchange student. He's here with Rotary as well, and he's living up in Kirikiri. And that picture, Hobbiton. Of course I had to visit Hobbiton while I'm in New Zealand, as it is probably one of the few things you would know as a European about New Zealand. So when I was talking to people back in Austria about what do you know about New Zealand, they would probably say it's freaking far away. It has a lot of sheep and a lot of rings was made there. So I had to visit Hobbiton, of course, and I did in October when my first host family took me on a sort of central North Island tour, and we visited a lot of places. Taupo, Turangi, and Rotorua, Tauranga, and Hobbiton as well. So that was pretty cool. And that was on the Abel Tasman tram that I did as well in the summer holidays in January with my third host family and a couple of friends of them. And the Abel Tasman is as well one of the New Zealand's great walks, and it was great. Yeah. That picture here is taken on a place called Cleopatra's Pool, a little bit inland. And finally, a picture taken in Paraparaumu Beach, Kapiti Coast, with two good friends of mine. Pretty cool picture as well, I reckon. So as you can see, I was certainly quite enjoying my time here, and so I've not only had a really great time, I've also really learned a lot of things while I was here. English, for example, or yeah, just got to know a new culture, and I think the exchanges really helped me, and that experiences that I've made, I would not have wanted to miss that. So I really want to thank you all, the Rotary Club of Wellington, to gave me that opportunity, that chance to do all the things that I've done and have such a great year. And especially, I want to thank, of course, my mentor, Samuel Stevens, who I'm not sure if he's here today, and my three host families, of course, Martin Meshes and his family, Derek Gill and his family, and Peter Lawson and his family, who all have offered to host me for a couple of months and make me part of their family, and did a lot of work and made a lot of effort to make my stay even better. So I really, really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you.